Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Philadelphia 76ers take down the Toronto Raptors 109-102 in the second of a back-to-back. The Sixers moved to 21-11 on the season and still remain atop the Eastern Conference. Now, this one was long at the end. They drug it out all the way. It could not come fast enough until that final clock hit zero. But hey, at the end of the day, the Sixers get their dub in the revenge game. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome to Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you're instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. Also, be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. Now, like I said, first and foremost, this game was way too tight at the end for something that it shouldn't have been. It should not have come down to that. And I first and foremost want to give respect to the Toronto Raptors and Nick Nurse, because no matter what, it seems like we can never shake these guys off fully. They play it hard to the end. And that's exactly what they did. And that defense, which we will talk about, is absolutely absurd. And the way they are able to kind of choke us in the third, in the fourth, and really make this a ball game at the end is crazy. But the Sixers coming down the stretch hit big shot after big shot and never let the Toronto Raptors re-grasp the lead or even tie up the ball game. The difference between this game and a couple days ago was the adjustments. The difference between this game and a couple days ago was the fact that the Sixers today shot 44.7% from outside. A couple days ago, we couldn't hit a shot to save our life. Joel Embiid, the same thing happened today. Getting doubled, getting tripled. What is he doing? Finding the open guy, hitting cross-court passes, laser passes. Even though he had a bad turnover late in his game, Embiid was finding the open shooters. And you got Furkan Korkmaz, by the way, who starts for Seth Curry. Seth Curry's out. I don't even know what happened to him. But Furkan Korkmaz explodes in this game. A quick flash. Everybody was coming at me. Furkan is he's resolved. Furkan is saved. Nah, man, Furkan Korkmaz, let me not discredit him. He had 19 points in this. He had 16 in the first quarter. He was going nuts. But hey, hopefully this will increase his trade value, right? Him, guys like Mike Scott hitting 1-3. But man, Furkan Korkmaz finding them, bang, knocking it down. Danny Green had 3 threes tonight. At least he was knocking down a little bit. Tobias Harris came on later on in the game. And more so, like I said, Joel Embiid finding the open guys. We'll talk about him. But we were knocking down shots. And then on the other side, we were playing defense. We stepped it up on D. I thought there was great perimeter defense from the Sixers team. Really pushing their shooters out. Really making them take contested shots or shots that they don't really favor. And as a result, Pascal Siakam had kind of an off game. He went 9 for 18. Well, he finished 9 for 18, but for most of this game, Pascal Siakam really was not on. He went 1 for 6 from the outside. Van Vliet ended up shooting 4 for 14, and Anunoby shot 4 for 13. So I really thought that our perimeter defense stepped up big time in this game. You know, Tobias with a couple blocks, Matisse with 3 blocks. You had Danny Green with 3 steals. I thought we were being pests all over them, giving them a taste of their own medicine. And really, the main two differences were us shooting the ball. The Toronto Raptors shot 29.7% from 3. We shot 44. We shot 15 more percent from 3. And we played defense on the other side. Now, when I look at this game, Joel Embiid finishes 3 for 13. He has 18 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal and a block. I know everybody was coming at Joe. Why is he always struggling against Toronto? 2 bad games in a row. Look, this might happen in the playoffs, but this game stands out to me and really leaves a big positive sign in my head because it shows me that we can play brand basketball. We can play a complete team brand of basketball. Even if Embiid has to pass out every time. Even if we get to the playoffs, right? And you're getting doubles and you're getting triples. Well, teams like Toronto may say, you know what? We don't have as much talent. We're going to have to rely that their shooters miss. And today our shooters stepped up, and that's what we're going to need in the playoffs as well. Nick Nurse, I mean, the guy is a top coach in this league. Like I said last game, don't try to tell me that coaching doesn't matter. This guy the way he implements his defensive system, they didn't even have a guy taller than Pascal Siakam on the floor. I think Siakam's like 6'9", if I'm correct, 6'8". They benched their only center, Aaron Baines. They went with that small ball lineup again. And without Kyle Lowry, they fought. Without Lowry, without Floppy McFlopperson, they fought. And when Aaron Baines was off the floor, they were putting a lot of pressure on Joe. They were making him uncomfortable. But overall, for the most part in this game, I thought Embiid was doing a great job passing out of the doubles, finding the open shooters. And unlike last game, there were some possessions where he was letting it get too deep. He was letting guys kind of swarm him. But he still did a good job last game. But today, I thought he was almost perfect, except for a late turnover in this game. And coming down the stretch, Tobias Harris, my God. Tobias Harris, before we even talk about the stat line, he was snubbed from the All-Star game today. He was absolutely snubbed. The Sixers should have had 3 All-Stars in my mind. And even if we didn't, honestly, I'm feeling that Tobias maybe even deserved it before Ben Simmons. Averaging 20 a game. He's gone so underrated. Today, he had 9 in the first half, and he comes out with 23 total points. He scored 14 in the second half. And my God, he went 8 for 12 from the field, but down the stretch, when we needed a bucket. Look, yesterday on the channel, we interviewed Sixers beat reporter Keith Pompey. If you have not, go check it out. It was a great interview. But I asked Keith, I said, can Tobias Harris be that guy late in games, especially in a playoff atmosphere, which this one felt like? There was a lot of energy. It was a tough, gritty defensive game. Can a guy like Tobias Harris be the one to take the big shots? And Keith said yes, and I agreed. And Tobias in this one, whether it was, one shot after the other, 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left. When Joel Embiid was getting doubled and tripled, when Ben, obviously without the lack of a shot, can't be the guy to take that big shot, Tobias Harris stepped up, coming around mid-range screens, pulling up and getting to the rack and being aggressive. And when Toby's playing like this, it's hard to stop this Sixers team. I really believe that. He also attributed 7 rebounds. His rebounding has been underrated this year. 5 assists, 2 blocks. He had a little extra motivation today. And he came out and showed the world why he deserved to be an All-Star and why he indeed was snubbed. It is what it is. Shot 3 for 4 from behind the arc this game. 1 for 9 last game. A big drastic improvement. And he did what he had to do. And he was big late in the game. In fact, the only double-digit score for the Sixers at halftime was Furkan Korkmaz, and it was 16 points that he had in the first quarter. The Raptors only had, I think, 42 points at halftime. Our defense is really what stepped up, like I said, making them uncomfortable. But Tobias, being that man late in games, was beautiful to see, and I think we're going to need it, especially when we play defenses like this in the playoffs. We're going to need it. Simple as that. Now, Ben Simmons had 15, 9, and 7 in this game. He did what he had to do on offense. I expected him to, drop a little bit from last game, given some of the adjustments from Nick Nurse. But that's where guys like Tobias stepped up, and especially our shooters like Furkan and Danny Green. But Ben Simmons defensively this game, it is so sweet to watch. Whether it's a late steal, a pluck, he's getting Siakam all riled up. Dwight was getting Aaron Baines riled up. Those Raptors, they love to cry, man. It's part of their MO. It is what they do. Some of those players. But Ben Simmons was making Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam, when he was on him, uncomfortable all night. His defense is all world. It's top tier. It's unbelievable. And tonight was another reason why we should appreciate that defense so much. It was unbelievable. I loved what I saw. And it was a big part of the reason why the Raptors could not shoot tonight. They could not. And by the way, in terms of Joel Embiid going 11 for 12 from the line, I thought he was getting hacked early on, and they were kind of quiet on the whistles in the first half, but he started to get that respect, and Joel just kept delivering at the line. And I wanted to add in, Ben Simmons went 5 for 6 from the line. The guy's improved his free throw shooting, and it's exactly what we need, and I love it. I love it so much. Furkan got the start, obviously. Isaiah Joe only got 4 minutes, which I thought was kind of weird. I thought he would get more, but it is what it is. Matisse Thybulle came in. I think he was on the second substitution this game, and he came in and made a big defensive impact and was doing his thing, driving. Shake Milton looked like himself. Obviously, last game we kind of gave him some leeway. He had to get back to himself, but Shake Milton finishes this game with 11 points off the bench, 4 for 10 from the field, and a couple assists, and he was moving the ball, and he hit a couple big shots. He hit a big shot late. He hit a big shot. Tobias hit a big shot, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was beautiful, and that... Look, Joel Embiid kept getting these double teams. There was one play that sticks out from Embiid, and he stepped back on Aaron Baines from 3-point range, like a deep three. Your center can do that. A step back from 3, way behind the line. I mean, it was absurd. We just knew. We knew, and I think Doc made the adjustments in terms of the floor spacing and where guys were positioned, and it was much easier for Embiid to kind of get the ball out. Like I said, he made a bad pass late, and it was stolen, and then Danny Green had a couple plays where I'm like, what the heck are you doing, Danny? He gave the ball right back to Toronto. He gave it back to Toronto, and then the next play, the refs, oh my God, the refs, again, on both sides were trash. They were absolutely pitiful, dreadful. Again, the second play where Danny Green tried to give it up, they took a review table timeout, whatever, and they look at it and they're like, oh, an inadvertent whistle, basically saying that we effed up, like it's our fault and sorry, but it's Sixers ball. And I'm like, are you kidding me? They called a jump ball late. I'm like, what the heck is going on? What is going on? Simmons had a nice block from behind early in this game. Embiid had a nice block late. I just thought our defense was all over the place. And even though the rest were wonky, like our defense is really what won us this game. They stepped up big time. And like I said, we put pressure. The Raptors were missing shots open, but I thought we put a lot of good pressure on them. Tyrese Maxey, another game, doesn't get any run. Interesting, but I guess Doc doesn't want to go with him. Dwight Howard did what he had to do. He kept it afloat, didn't have any crazy fouls. He had 3 fouls, which is wild because it's like, I don't even remember him, but Dwight is just an instant foul. It is what it is. But overall, our bench did produce a lot better. They finally won above 20 points. I still want to see more out of them. But I think as we get, a little bit healthier, maybe get Maxey up in there, who knows what's going to happen. This was a great game for Furkan, like I said, to boost his trade value. I know Daryl's going to be on the phone, maybe even calling Toronto about Kyle Lowry. Who really knows? There were a couple stretches in this game where the Sixers got very sloppy, had a couple bad turnovers, but overall, as I said in my live play-by-play, we do those every game, be sure to tune in. Down the stretch, I said, teams that hold on to these type of games, so what feels like a playoff game, go on deep in the playoffs and try to win a championship, and that's exactly what we did. A big play from Ben Simmons. There was a steal where the camera didn't even shift fast enough, and it's in Danny's hands. Toby holds it like a professional, doing the right thing, and we were spaced out. I thought Doc had a great game plan, a great system, and I thought guys were allocated well. And Joel Embiid, again, he did not play well. He finished with 18 points because of his free throws. He didn't play that well in terms of scoring the ball. But at the end of the day, we still were able to get this win, and it shows how the overall value of this team is through everyone. There's a lot of chemistry, and I absolutely loved it. Our defense and our shooting were much different from last game, and that's what helped us win the game. Toby stepped up when he needed to. Ben made great defensive stops, and that was that. And Joel Embiid hit the final free throws. The game, like I said, was lagged out. They were just I don't even know the word, but they were just keeping us on way too long with the calls and the fouls. Come on, man, let's end the game. Let's end the game. But hey, man, it feels really good to get this dub. We're up 2-1 on the Raptors on the season series. We're still sitting atop the East. I'm feeling really good based off what I've seen from these teams in the East. And this is a big win. It's the first time that we beat Toronto on the road since Doug Collins was the head coach. I know it's not Toronto, but it's still on the road. We were 5-25 against them in our last 30. And we come out and get a dub, and we finally went on a road. So I'm really happy for that. Sixers get the dub, 109-102. Impressive performance, and we're back in a couple days. We're on to the next one, and it feels good to get a win, tight win, in a tight situation like this. Hey, you guys let me know your thoughts down below on this game. Appreciate you all for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.